here from Equine Evolutions. I decided to start doing like a bit of a vlog, I suppose, just as an alternative to writing reams and reams and reams of text that I think that a lot of people probably get put off reading when they see how long some posts might be. So I thought I'll try and do some little videos instead, just to just highlight and go through a couple of points that I think are really important, and I think the word needs to spread, because I just see so much stuff going on that for the horse's welfare is not ideal. So I'm going to be doing little bite-sized bits and pieces on various topics, and just see what goes from there. So what I wanted to talk about today, only because I've just been scrolling through Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that, and I just see this constant stream of photos or videos of horses being behind the vertical, and it's obviously not the ideal place for the horse to be. And I just wanted to do this video just to explain some of the things that are going to be going on when your horse is traveling or working in that way. So obviously when we think about a horse being on the bit, we think of the poll being the highest point, which it should be, but a lot of the time I think it's probably due to the horses possibly being just a little bit weak, trying to evade, obviously working in the correct way, because they perhaps haven't got the strength and the ability in those muscles, particularly the neck, to really hold themselves in self-carriage, which is obviously what on the bit is. It is self-carriage, and in order for a horse to be able to maintain that position, it needs strength in a lot of the muscles around the neck, so the rhomboids, the trapezius, and also going further back into the longissimus dorsi, and various other muscles need to be conditioned and strong enough for the horse to be able to just hold its head in that ideal position. But a lot, and I say I've just been scrolling through, and literally every picture I saw was horses behind the vertical. So what happens, like in the biomechanics sense, when a horse is behind the vertical is obviously the head and the nose is tucked in towards the chest, and that obviously creates more tension, especially over the poll. It can also make the airway a little bit restricted, so the horse, roll call is obviously the very extreme of being behind the vertical, but that process does start to happen when the horse is just tucking that nose in. It restricts the airway, which obviously can affect the horse's breathing and the ability to take in enough oxygen and all that sciencey stuff to enable the body to feed those muscles and the organs with sufficient oxygen. Another thing that is affected with horses going behind the vertical is obviously what they can see. Where the placement of the horse's eyes does give them quite a wide range of vision, but they do have blind spot right in front, and they do have a blind spot directly behind. But when the horse is working behind the vertical and is, that nose is tucked in a little bit, that area of vision for the horse is literally the floor in front of it. So it, we want the horse to be able to see where it's going, and there's all sorts of things that happen and that occur when the horse is behind the vertical. Obviously, those are mainly focused around the head, but further along the horse's body, there's going to be weakness, and the muscles aren't going to be working. The muscles that we want the horse to develop to enable them to carry us first of all, and to maintain that self carriage, then those muscles aren't going to be working sufficiently to develop as strong as we want them. So it's just a bit of a vicious circle, really. And riders will feel like the horse is working nicely. It feels nice and soft, the contact. But actually that's just false. It's a false contact, and it's relatively easy to remedy, but being able to recognize it is quite important. And one of the key signs is looking at your horse's over the neck. Is the poll the highest point? I can guarantee that if a lot of riders actually look, it's probably not going to be. I would imagine a portion of the neck that's kind of in line with the cervical vertebrae, number 3, or even number 4 sometimes, will be the highest point, and that's obviously very incorrect. We need that poll to be the highest point of the neck, and the nose should come literally just in front of that. So anything that's straight or behind, or even more behind, is not a good place for the horse to be working. And it's just such a common thing that I've seen, and I've been wanting to do these videos for a while anyway. So just to digress slightly, I've got so many things that I want to discuss, to talk about, to try and educate people about. And it's so overwhelming sometimes in my head that I just need to write down probably a kind of structured sort of list of where do I start, and then just break it down and go from there. But I say I've literally just been scrolling through, and every picture I saw, every video was pretty much horses behind the vertical, and we really need to start changing that. So I thought, balls, I'm just gonna do a video. Excuse my attire. I'm wearing obviously my comfy slacks, as it's a Sunday. So anyway, back to the point. So essentially, if your horse is working behind the vertical, then it is not working properly, and there are going to be things affecting, 1, that horse's development. 2, they're going to be feeling a lot of pressure, a lot of tension over the poll especially. They may have issues being able to breathe sufficiently, and they're also not going to be able to see particularly well when they're travelling with their head pointing down to the ground. So how do we fix it? This is already going on a little bit too long. I was aiming for like 5 minutes, but but I've been talking not as long as it feels. Actually, it's 8 minutes 49 seconds at the moment, so I'll try and keep it as brief as possible, because I know maybe people are busy and they haven't got time to sit and read long articles and also listen to videos. But it's easier to talk, isn't it? I hate having to write down things, because like the written word can be misinterpreted so easily, and it's quite difficult, I think, to properly explain stuff in text. So that's why I thought I'm going to start doing these videos, because it's just easier to talk, and then I can just rabble away for a few minutes and hopefully get the point across without offending anyone or confusing anyone. So let's just see how this goes. So I thought, why not just start with this, because it's just such a common thing. It needs to change. We need to be more aware of our horse's head position and the actual strengths that they've got in the first place to carry a person. So maybe a little bit more groundwork is needed. Maybe in-hand poles, all those sorts of things that actually allow the horse to build up that strength and that self-carriage without the weight of a rider is a massive massive benefit. So how do we stop the horse coming behind the vertical? And my personal suggestion would obviously be to maybe do some groundwork, some poles, in-hand work, and some lateral work on the ground, and then in the saddle, again looking at that horse's neck, having a good judgment of what is the highest point. You should be able to see the headpiece of the bridle. If all you can see is the tips of the ears and then the neck, then the horse is behind the vertical. That would probably be my suggestion of the easiest way to tell whether your horse is behind the vertical or not. And also it comes down to a bit of feel. Is it so soft? I know that soft is what we want, and soft feels lovely, but when a horse is behind the vertical, it's almost like there's no contact at all, and the horse is not taking that contact forward, which is what obviously what we want the horse to do. So think about what you're feeling in your hands. For me, I would probably do some transitions, just really getting the horse moving off that leg, moving forward in front of the leg. Do lots and lots of transitions. So, just start obviously in the walk, do some halt walk, a bit of trot walk, and then just gradually just build that up to trot, halt, and just go from there. You can do lots and lots of transitions, lots and lots of changes of bend, figures of eight, serpentines, anything that is going to get the horse listening and is going to get the horse a little bit more supple and listening to your leg aids. Because you actually want the horse to go forward from the leg, let them be in front of your leg, and allow them to seek that contact forward. So those are some of the exercises that I would suggest in order to try and improve that that horse's head position, that horse's strength, and also the other thing to consider is not to overdo it, because the horse is going to be, if they're not used to using those muscles, they're going to fatigue quite quickly, and obviously you don't want to be making the horse so tired that they're not going to want to do it. So keep those sessions, when the horse is working on the vertical, then just do literally 10 minutes of good work, and then you can give them a pat, let them have a stretch, and finish your session there. You don't have to be riding them around the school for an hour when they're perhaps not strong or fit enough to cope with that, being in that a nice on the bit position and going forward in front of the leg. So yeah, just be a little bit more mindful, I think, of what your horse can cope with, because it is it's like us going to the gym. I can go to the gym and I'll perhaps I might use the squat rack or something like that, but if I'm not squatting properly, then those exercises are actually just a little bit pointless. But if I am squatting properly and I'm taking that weight back into my heel, or I'm squatting deep, I'm my femur is going to be horizontal to the floor, that's a good squat, isn't it? And doing 5 good squats is so much more beneficial than doing 20 bad ones. Does that make sense? And it's exactly the same with your horses. So doing 10 minutes of really good, consistent, on the bit work is much more beneficial than doing an hour where your horse is basically behind the vertical the whole time, because that's not where the horse needs to be. The muscles that we need aren't going to be working. There's going to be pressure. There's going to be issues with breathing, and there's going to be issues with what your horse is actually seeing when they're travelling around. So be mindful of that. Obviously, let me know in the comments if you have any questions, or if you want to add anything that I might have missed, then please do. And I don't know what I'm going to be talking about next time. I'll just whatever triggers me, I suppose, from social media. But we'll see. But yeah, I'm gonna start doing these videos a little bit more often, just so we can discuss things that need discussing, need addressing, need changing. Okay, so excellent. I hope you all have a good Sunday, and I will see you soon. Take care. Bye bye.